So, at least 16 trans women of color's lives were taken this year. Charlottesville happened, DACA was repealed, and in the past few months, we've seen white supremacists make themselves more visible than they have in a while. And you know what? I ain't got time to be just sitting around watching this. My people have healing to do. Generations and generations of healing to do, and we need to do this with other folks of color with similar and yet different experiences with colonization and the suppression of our healing ways, and healing histories. Look, if you're a person of color working with medicine and doing healing work, I don't have to tell you of the violence and trauma we face just trying to learn about healing that will help us, our families, and our communities. I don't have to tell you about the silencing. I don't have to tell you about the invisibilization, the appropriation. And I don't have to tell you about that feeling we sometimes have that we can't quite put our fingers on, that something is missing from the teachings we're getting. In the BIPOC Communiversity, we go in on connecting with our ancestral traditions. We go in on establishing deeper relationships with ancestral plants, the elements, the seasons, the cycles our ancestors were in sync with. We talk about the impact of colonization on us, our families, and our communities. We talk about what liberation looks like for us in the context of what appears to be predominantly white or Western European healing movements. We talk about anti-Blackness, and we talk about African contributions to our Western botanical legacy. We connect to Black and Brown healing traditions around the world, but most importantly in the Communiversity, you connect to your own. You learn about your medicine and your power so that you can continue on your healing journey and move toward being your whole self and continuing to heal your lineage. At the Communiversity, we believe that an anti-racist decolonial framework is important. No, more than important. It's crucial. Talking about two-spirit, trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming, and queer healing legacies is important. Acknowledging the spirituality in our healing ways is important. Our ancestry is important. Trauma-informed healing and medicine making is important. Strategizing toward healing from trauma on the individual and collective levels is important. Getting to be all of who we are in our medicine making is important. Acknowledging our ancestors' contributions to healing movements and medicine making is important. Acknowledging that medicine making is about survival and resistance, and that it has always been about liberation, is important. In the BIPOC Communiversity, we are about liberation and also transformation. White supremacy is not going to end overnight, y'all. And we BIPOC medicine makers need to come together to envision the transformation that needs to happen in our homes, our communities, and society. We can't do that without first looking at our history and the ways in which racist institutions and systems are denying our basic rights and, most importantly, impeding our liberation. Racist society and systems have contributed to our illness and even to the genocide of many of our peoples. Transformation also means healing from our trauma. We are holding so much from generations ago and really need to be able to come together, show up for each other, and work through this so we can get free. White folks doing healing work, one way you can help us in our liberation is to make a contribution to community seats in the fall and winter. When we reach our goal, 20 people will get an opportunity to be a part of the healing journey with the Communiversity. For the next 6 months, we'll be going deep into medicine and rediscovering our power. Whether you're white or BIPOC, everyone has the opportunity to contribute to our healing into 2018. Send funds at youcaring.com/BIPOC Communiversity or join us for the long haul, supporting us more long-term at patreon.com/Liberation Healing. Thanks.